Hi, Pat from Doula Match here again with another video in our series of videos for doulas who are new to doulamatch.net. This one's going to show you how to create your doula profile. It's going to be a little bit longer as there's quite a bit of rich information on the doulamatch.net doula profile. First off, we're going to create an individual doula profile. This is a doula profile for a person who is practicing as a doula. We do also offer group profiles, which are great for local professional organizations for doulas in your city or region, or for hospital doula groups, or for agencies, or anytime you want to have a group of doulas that are associated with each other and presented together. And it also offers some great features like the ability to search just within that group. But enough about that. Let's create our new individual doula profile. You'll see there's a number of tabs here, 1 through 6. We're going to go through in this video 1 through 5. We're going to take us through setting up our availability calendar, which is crucial to showing up in searches. The next video is going to show the process of making a payment, so that's going to be a separate video. So the first thing we have to do is explain what our training is. I'm going to say that I'm a DONA trained. I've been to a DONA approved workshop. I'm going to add that to my profile. We need the date of your training as well. And here's some just basic information about my doula practice. I'm going to say I'm a birth doula, although you see the other options there. And it's brought my name forward for my account registration. And the zip code, or the postal code, if you're in Canada, is it's very important because it drives here the service area map. So I want you to think about the postal code or the zip code is not necessarily your residence or your office or the main hospital where you work, but think about it as the center of a circle that describes all the places that you'll go to provide services as a doula. So here I've said that I'm in the northwest part of Seattle, and with a service area range of about 5 miles, you can see I've kind of neatly encapsulated most of North Seattle, but I've got none of the islands across the way, none of Bainbridge Island, none of the stuff across Lake Washington. If I had set my range a little bit further, then it might be necessary to include some caveats here, like no ferries, client to pay tolls, for example. But this is going to drive the search. So the main search on Doula Match is done based on the intersection of your availability from your availability calendar and your geography in terms of where are you willing to travel in order to provide your doula services. So somebody who's searching for a doula in Edmonds, they'll say that they're in Edmonds. We're not going to pull in only doulas who actually live in Edmonds. We'll pull in any doula who says they'll serve that area. So that's kind of a part of the unique value proposition of Doula Match is this intersection of a service area with your availability calendar is the main way people are going to find you. The website is very important. This is a fictitious website. I'm sorry if it actually exists and is unrelated, but the website's very important. Every doula should have a website. We really view doulamatch.net as not replacing your website in any way, but as being hopefully a way that's going to funnel a lot of traffic from Doula Match, where they find out basic information about your practice, to your website, where you can tell your full story in detail so you can make the connection with the families who you're best suited to serve. I'm actually going to leave the phone number blank. We have had some problems on Doula Match since we are really the biggest doula referral website. We had some problems where people come here and they're looking for contact information, not necessarily for anything good or for anything to do with delivering a baby, but for, let's say, nefarious purposes, and keep it a little bit vague at that. So if you don't want your contact information out there, then A, don't put it on your own website or anywhere else on the internet, but don't put it here either. We do have a secure contact form where potential clients will be able to get emails through to you without revealing any of your contact information. So you'll still be able to use that even if you leave the phone number blank. We also do have some searches just for Black doulas and Indigenous or Aboriginal doulas on the site. So if that applies to you, please check these boxes to show up in those searches. For now, though, this is really the bare minimum information to create a profile on Doula Match. I'm going to go ahead and click Save and continue on to the next tab. If I left my profile here, it would technically be complete, but it'd be pretty boring without a photo or any more details about it. So I'm going to add a photo here, and We present your photo as a square image. So if it's even if it is square, we upload it. You're going to have to drag a square box around it to crop it to the square dimension for presentation on the website. There, my photo's been added. It takes me automatically to the next tab in the profile, which are some additional optional, technically optional information, but very valuable information to add to your profile to help families understand more about your practice. So I'm going to go ahead and do things like, list my fee, for example. Many families are going to want to know what your fee is, so let's list the fee. You can list a range of figures here if you have a variety of packages of services. So you can put more notes here. Postnatal, I know I said the postpartum. Okay. A new feature that I really want to highlight here is that if you participate in any of the new programs, this is really mostly in the United States, where doula services qualify for reimbursement under the extension of Medicaid in certain states, or for folks in the military, if you're a part of the TRICARE program that will reimburse for doula services for military families, you can go ahead and check these boxes. And these are all links that will take you to, for example, a list from Minnesota Department of Health of doulas who are approved for this. But make sure that you're on the list, not in the process of getting set up, but fully set up to accept payments from these third-party programs. And then there will be a way for families to search just for doulas that are part of these programs. This is a new thing on Doula Match. Every year we add new features to make our site more suit the changes that are happening in the marketplace and more suit the needs of doulas and expectant families. So we're happy to share this with you really for the first time in this video. I'm going to leave some of this other information blank. I will check off some languages I speak so that we can demonstrate that later, because we have searches where you can search for doulas who speak your language. We also have some other services you provide. So this is a long list. It's a really variety of things, but if it is something that somebody would expect you to have some formal training and certification in, for example, first aid and CPR. I don't think it's enough that you've read a book or something. You should really have some certification or training to back that up. Others of these, mother roasting, there's probably no training for that, but use your professional judgment here. These should be things that really are things that are specializations that you provide for families. And I'm going to go ahead and click Save here. Now we're on to the fourth tab, certifications. If you're just in the process of getting certified, newly trained, or your certification's lapsed, you can go over and skip over this one and go on to the availability calendar. But I'm going to show how to upload a certification image for display on your Doula Match profile. So first, I'm going to select from the list of certifying organizations that we have here. I'm going to indicate that I am I'm a DONA certified birth doula. And this process gets a little bit tricky, because first we have to add it to the list and save this page, and then we'll be presented with an opportunity to get verified. And this is where we're going to upload a picture of our certification certificate, and the Doula Match team will verify that, and then it'll be posted on your doula profile. So here we're going to get a picture of our certificate. You can take a picture with your cell phone. You can scan it. Anything that gets us a digital image. Can't be a PDF or a Word document. It has to be an image file, so a JPEG or a PNG file. And please do make sure that the date you enter here matches the date on the certification certificate. That is one of the things that we do verify whenever you upload this. Now I'm going to save it with that information. And now it's going to be awaiting certification approval by the Doula Match team. And so that we can fully demonstrate the process here, I've gone in on the back end and approved this so that now it shows up as verified, so that when we later go in and view our profile, we'll be able to see that on the profile and not have it sit out there in just submitted state. We do verify these certificate images within 24 hours, so it's not very long to wait to get your image approved. Now let's move on to the last tab that we're going to go through in this video, which is the all-important availability calendar. DoulaMatch.net really started as an availability calendar tracking service for doulas in the Seattle area who were confronted with the problem that many of them were fully booked, while many others were desperate to find clients. So the ones who are fully booked spend a lot of time turning away families who are just calling about births for months that they're already booked, whereas the new doulas were having a hard time getting referrals. So the first thing we want to know is, when are you available? We do have a feature where we can set a range of dates as available. So I'm going to go ahead and mark myself as available through March. And I click Set as Available. And it's going to go off and mark that all as green. Now, if I want to, I could go through and selectively unmark some of those if I want to take the week of Christmas off, for example. Now, when families search for their doula, they're going to put in the date they need their doula, and I'm only going to show up if they put in one of these dates that show up as green. If they search out in May or December 27th, then I will not show up in those results. You'll also note here that if I refresh the page, it'll show that my availability calendar was last updated today. This is very important because Doula Match, people don't get to pay more to show up first in the search results list. What they do is they show up high in the search results on the first page by updating their calendar. We really want to reward doulas who are active in maintaining their availability calendar by showing them first on the list as being, most actively interested in getting clients, as demonstrated by the fact they're keeping their calendar up to date. So it's very important to keep your calendar up to date. It's not a set it and forget it thing, or you'll never show up on the first few pages of the search results. That's all we wanted to show you for this video. In the next video, I'm going to go through very quickly and show how to complete the payment process to pay for your profile. Right now, my profile exists. I can look at it here. I've got my certification image up. I've got my birth availability calendar up. I don't have any testimonials yet from past clients, but I could start soliciting those. Actually, I can't do that until I've made my payment. But the next video will show that. Right now, your profile is only visible to you. If you want to get out there, published to the world, you're going to have to complete the final step here of making a payment, which is going to be in the next video. So stick around for that. Thanks. That's all for this one.